Hello, and welcome to News 6, which is brought to you this week by the 6th grade at Our Lady of Consolation School in Cary. For our community segment, here's Randy to tell you about Cary's most important landmark.
On a day in May 103 years ago, the people of Frenchtown gathered to carry a small statue of Mary to the new church named after her in Cary. It was a day of a terrible storm, but when the procession gathered, the rains parted and the parishioners walked the whole 7 miles, remaining perfectly dry, while the rain and thundered all around them. It was the first miracle at Our Lady of Consolation Church in Cary. Brother Bruno, a staff member at the church, told News 6 about the church today.
We have many visitors. It's called a pilgrimage church, and about 150,000 people come here each year because they believe that Christ can work through anyone and touch others with love and miracles. And here they believe it's through his mother. And we compare his love and distributed to other people at churches like Lourdes and Fatima. We're happy to say that ours can be counted among the great churches. People really come and have great faith and believe that things happen, and they do happen, and they're here. We think the greatest miracle is in the mind. We leave here with peace and consolation, and the Mother of Christ is called Mother of Consolation here, or Our Lady of Consolation.
The inside of the church is very beautiful. One of the first things to notice is the large stained glass windows. Other features are the altars, which are solid marble from France and Italy. When this statue is on a side altar arrived in 1925, the head was broken off. The head was glued on because it was feared that the artist could never again capture the sorrow that is expressed. Probably the most important work in the church is the statue of Our Lady of Consolation. It is a model on a statue in Luxembourg, and the people pray at the statue for miracles. The church is open 24 hours a day to receive the people known as pilgrims. They want to come to the church. There is no hotel in Cary, so many of the visitors that make the trip to Our Lady of Consolation stay at the St. Anthony's Pilgrim House. It was built in 1918 with the intentions of caring for the sick during their pilgrimage to the shrine, but it has since become a favorite home for all visitors. The guests who come to the Pilgrim House enjoy the home-like atmosphere provided by Sister Margaret, the administrator, and the staff, which includes Sister Joyce, who prepares all home-cooked meals. Many new acquaintances and friendships are formed here as the guests from many parts of the country come together. And now with our people segment, here's Chris.
2 of our class members are champions, or at least their 4-H projects are. Lisa Durr and Dennis Hookey raise dairy and beef cows for showing at the Wyandotte County Fair. Dennis raises brown Swiss, and Lisa raises Guernsey cows. Both of their projects have been named grand champions at the fair, which earned them ribbons, plaques, and silver trays. But there is a lot of work to do before going to the fair. Lisa and Dennis must walk their cows, brush them, trim them, clip them, wash and pet them, as well as teaching them how to walk with their trainer and stand correctly. But they feel it is all worth it when they bring home their awards. News 6 visited Cary residents Dr. and Mrs. Winter because they do egg craft, but it is not like dyeing eggs at Easter time. The Winters do very special work with eggs, and both have had eggs named Best of Show and National Competition. That is, they are 2 of the best egg craft artists in the country. Dr. Winter does folk art egg work, which originated in the Middle Ages. He explained for News 6 how it works.
The first thing to learn is the dyeing process. There are many different methods of dyeing. We try to use traditional dyes. The old method of dyeing Easter eggs and onions works very well. and the dye penetrates the egg. That allows you to scrape the egg surface away to shade the egg. By the deeper you go, the lighter it gets. They can dye them in walnuts, then simply by starting to develop the pattern or drawing that they want to on the egg. Many children have done very well with this.
Mrs. Winter decorates her eggs quite differently. She generally uses goose or ostrich eggs and begins by cutting out certain areas of the egg to make doors or openings. The eggs are very fragile at first, but when they're finished, they have many coats of varnish and are quite hard. She glues jewel-like glass and ornaments on the outside of the egg and decorates the inside with small statues and scenes. It takes her about 50 hours to complete one egg, but she told us that eggery is an art that anyone can start.
Well, they would have to start on a much simpler cut. I know when I started, and many eggers when they first start, will start with a chicken or a duck egg and cut the hole out with cuticle scissors. And a simple opening can be cut with cuticle scissors. But when you get into the more intricate cuts and the doors, you cannot cut a door with cuticle scissors. It has to be just an opening.
In case you are wondering, Dr. and Mrs. Winter admitted that they have broken some eggs while working on them, and it is quite frustrating, but they also said that they love the work. And now, with our school segment, here's Debbie.
Our goal this year has been to give warm fuzzies to one another. The purpose of giving warm fuzzies is to let people know that they are okay. This project began when we read the folk fable by Richard Lesser on fuzzies. The fable takes place in a mountain region far removed from other ways of life. The people of the village are very happy and trusting people. In this village, there were also unique roly-poly creatures called warm fuzzies. These little creatures could be found almost anywhere. They begged to be held, and once a person held a fuzzy, it was hard to put it down. The people of the village would give warm fuzzies for gifts on special occasions. This all changed one day when a witch came to the village in a red helicopter, disguised as a lovely lady who was able to convince one person that it was unwise to give warm fuzzies away so freely. The witch pointed out the possibility of running out of warm fuzzies. This began a chain reaction. People were afraid there wouldn't be enough warm fuzzies for themselves. They began to hide and cage their warm fuzzies, and the people didn't trust each other anymore. They began avoiding one another and ceased being helpful and didn't visit the sick as often. Using this story as a base, we have tried to give warm fuzzies to others by sending get-well cards to people, helping each other, being cheerful, and conserving natural resources. Warm fuzzies are more than just a ball of yarn. They are a special idea.
Thank you for joining us on News 6 this week. The program was produced by the 6th grade class of Sister Janice at Our Lady of Consolation School in Cary. Next week, News 6 will be produced by the 6th grade at Kraut Elementary in Tiffin. Have a great week.